Why are viburnums such great Florida-friendly plants? Kelly Greer, our Florida-friendly expert, is here to tell us. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you.
Tell me, viburnums, I have them in my yard. Why are they such great plants?
Because there's so many uses for them and they fit into so many different cultural habitats. Like they'll tolerate wet feet, dry feet, sun, shade. You can prune them to fit an area. So they adapt very well to many, many different parts of the landscape.
So sun and shade, but not the same plant can go in sun and shade? Or
some are more tolerant of shade than others. This one is the suspensum viburnum, and it tolerates shade the most out of the larger of the two viburnums, whereas the sweet viburnum prefers to be in full sun, and then it keeps that nice green color and a more dense habit.
I think most of us are familiar with those two,
yes,
right? They're the older traditional varieties, been around for years and years. But there are some new kids on the block, right?
There are.
Yeah, new viburnums. And you brought some with you today.
I did, and what's fun about these three viburnums here is they're natives to Florida. So the parent plant, Walter's viburnum, is the one that we're most familiar with as a native viburnum, and that plant actually gets to be about 12 feet tall if you just let it go. But these cultivars are smaller, they have a more compact growth habit. So if you're not looking for a viburnum that's that big, but you like the smaller leaf, then this is a great choice.
And you brought a couple with you. Of course, I think we need to mention the flower.
Yes.
Which in the springtime
is beautiful and fragrant. And then when they produce seed, it's a favorite for the native wildlife and a great butterfly attractor.
So this one, you brought three different of the smaller cultivars. I mean, we can't really call them dwarf, right?
No.
No.
It's relative. When you say dwarf, the parent plant, Walter's viburnum, is going to get to be 12 feet tall, whereas these are all going to stay 6 foot or under. So they're still big, but they're dwarf compared to a regular Walter's viburnum.
And they're so small when you plant them, you think they're going to stay this small. And you can keep them this small, I guess.
You can. Viburnums respond very well to pruning. And these particular smaller varieties grow a little bit slower, so you will not have to prune them as often or as soon as you would the larger.
You bought three here. Let's just go down the line. This one is the
World.
And you said this one, is it the smallest? Or the?
No, the Densa is actually the smallest.
This looks like the most compact foliage.
Yes, it is. The foliage grows in a whorl on the stem, and that's where it gets its name. It will probably get to be about 5 feet tall, whereas the Densa will be between 3 and 4 feet tall. So it's going to be a little bit smaller and a little bit more compact than the World. And then this one is called Mrs. Schillers Delight, and she's going to get to be probably between 5 and 6 feet tall at maturity.
So she looks like her blooms, well, she's just getting ready to bloom. It's just getting ready to bloom, but it looks like it will be pretty much the same. And really, these have different color foliages even.
They do.
A little darker, a little lighter. And so these would all be good. So tell me, they're versatile. Viburnums are versatile because of the different uses they can have in the landscape, right? So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, if you have a smaller space, say, I would choose one of these smaller Walter's viburnums because you'll have to prune less, they'll fit into that spot, and it's a lot less maintenance. One other good thing is Mrs. Schiller's Delight will tolerate wet soils. So this is one where if you have a boggy or a wet area, is a great choice for that area, even though if you put her in a dry area, it will tolerate drought. Whereas these two varieties will not tolerate wet feet.
And of course, we're out of time, but you'll have plenty of help available if people need help choosing viburnums.
Yes, they can always call us or talk to their local nurseryman and get their questions answered.
Thank you, Kelly, for being here and telling us about these versatile viburnums.
You're welcome, Celeste.
There are viburnums for all sorts of landscape situations. Once established, they require little maintenance and really will perform for you.